The key of the house of David I will lay on his shoulder. So he shall open, and no one shall shut. And he shall shut, and no one shall open. Isaiah 22 is addressing the leadership of Judah during a time of political turmoil. In particular, verse 22 speaks of Eliakim, a steward appointed by God to replace Shebna, who was corrupt and self-serving. The key of the house of David. In the ancient Near East, keys were large and often carried on the shoulder. Holding the key symbolized authority over the household. Since this is the house of David, it signifies authority in the royal house. Essentially, the power to govern access to the king's presence and resources. He shall open, and no one shall shut, and he shall shut, and no one shall open. This describes ultimate authority. Decisions made under God's appointment could not be overturned by others. Eliakim was entrusted with responsibility and divine backing. So, at the immediate level, this was about God transferring power from an unfaithful steward to a faithful one. The New Testament later applies this imagery directly to Jesus Christ. In Revelation 3:7, Jesus is described as, "He who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens." This is a direct echo of Isaiah 22:22. In this context, Jesus is portrayed as the ultimate steward of God's kingdom, holding sovereign authority. The key of David is not just about political power in Jerusalem, but about access to God's eternal kingdom. He alone grants entry to salvation. He alone has the power to open doors of opportunity, blessing, and eternal life. No one can override his decisions. This verse holds deep encouragement and challenge, authority and security. If Jesus holds the keys, our lives are secure in him. When he opens a door, whether that's salvation, guidance, or opportunity, no person, system, or enemy can close it. Likewise, if he closes a door, no striving of ours will force it open. Trust in God's sovereignty. Sometimes we fight closed doors or doubt open ones. But this verse reminds us that God's hand is behind both. His authority is absolute, and his decisions are for our good. Faithful stewardship. Just like Eliakim was appointed because of his faithfulness, we are reminded that God values integrity and faithfulness in those he entrusts with responsibility. Think of the verse like the ultimate master key. In a building, a master key opens every door, while no other key can override it. In the same way, Jesus holds the master key to God's kingdom. He opens the way to life, purpose, and eternity, and no one else can override what he decides.